So we're incredibly positive, and we've actually been positive since March. So in late February, we developed the view that central banks around the world would be forced to launch massive QE, and that's because it's in response to COVID. And we spent $1 billion buying assets in March because we thought that QE would crush credit spreads. Now, on housing, we felt that housing prices would start increasing again. So I mentioned that we were forecasting a very modest correction of 0 to 5% back in March. And we felt at the time that house prices would start increasing after 6 months. And they have done so in September, October. And we're forecasting at least house price growth of 10 to 20% over the next few years. And we think that economic growth will be very strong going into 2021 because we think that these vaccines will be widely distributed. Since August, we've had the view that the RBA would need to launch QE in order to make sure that the Australian economy is not disadvantaged vis-a-vis the rest of the world. So what we've seen from global central banks is that they've expanded their balance sheets, and in effect, they've lowered the cost of borrowing for their public and private sectors. And this has resulted in downward pressure on their own currencies. Australia's really lagged in this respect. So our 10-year government bond yield is higher than every other AAA and AA country in the world. And if you look at the Aussie dollar, today it's around 73 cents. So in order to put downward pressure on our long-term interest rates and to put downward pressure on our currency, we felt since August that the RBA would be forced to launch QE. And that's what they delivered. So in November, they announced a $100 billion bond purchasing program. So with respect to going forward into 2021, we feel that the RBA is open to expanding these purchases, and we think that they would expand this to a $200 billion in the next few months. Already seen unprecedented fiscal stimulus from the federal government and more recently the states with the backing of the RBA and Treasury. And we think that this record stimulus will really power growth into 2021 through income support and also through public spending like infrastructure and other policies.